Ever put bananas on pizza? What up now, Swedes? Woo! No, I've never put bananas on pizza. Is that a Swedish thing, bananas on pizza? Or am I inciting the hockey wars? Yes, it is. Okay, never mind. We only tell the truth here. Well, that was smart. I bet it's good, though. I mean, like, probably people from the United Kingdom are like, oh, but Chinese food on top of French fries is crazy, but bananas on pizza, you're like, you gotta respect it. Listen, they just won the World Juniors. Oh, wait, no, sorry. No, that was unintentional. They beat us in the World Juniors. We didn't even make it to the medal round. They at least got a silver. Cut them some slack. I bet it tastes good. My anecdata to back that up is people like to eat food that tastes good. So it is definitely unusual by my standards and the standards of what I would consider like North American taste. But I don't think people would be eating the bananas on the pizza if the banana pizza didn't taste good. They might order it once out of curiosity and then say, no thank you, sir, but they wouldn't come back. That's all food? That's what I'm saying. There is some stuff that I think is kind of... I've eaten a lot of foods, okay? And I'm not trying to put the system on trial. At the end of the day, this is just one man's opinion, okay? There are still some fad foods. Let me rephrase. Some foods that have semi-recently become popular that I think are... they're peaking right now. I'm not saying they're going to go extinct, but I think that we'll look back on their consumption and be like, kind of what were we thinking? One of them is, well, there's one, I have to get you with the gimme first, and then I think I'm going to say something a little bit more controversial. The first one is alcoholized versions of normal drinks and at the same time de-alcoholized versions of alcoholic drinks. Now, I'm accepting non-alcoholic beer. It's been around forever. Maybe you want to... not drinking alcohol is good for you, non-controversially. But we went from simply lemonade to now we got simply spiked lemonade, which is basically like a White Claw, which is basically a sparkling water with alcohol, and now they're making non-alcoholic White Claw, which just, we've gone through so many different, it's like the ship of Theseus. Like, I don't even know what the hell is inside of the liquid anymore at this point. They took seltzer and put alcohol in it, and then they took the alcohol out of it. Like, you know what's great about it is in an economic sense, like 330,000 people have a career doing this process, and the economy has decided that it gives value to society. That's an innovation in and of itself right there. Two people meet in a malt shop, and they're like, I'm the guy who puts the alcohol in the seltzer, and then they're like, nice to meet you, I'm the guy who takes it out. You're making my job harder, dude. If you stop putting the alcohol in, I wouldn't have to take all of it out, man. I'm going in on this. So I just feel like I'm not saying it's going to go to zero, but I do feel like we're kind of at peak alcoholized normal drinks and de-alcoholized alcoholic drinks. The other one I want to say, and I bet that I enjoy this beverage more than the average person in chat, I think we're at peak kombucha. And I know it's been around, you know, and reasonably popular for probably a decade in North America at this point. I drink it now and then. it doesn't fit into my worldview, which is inherently meaningless. That's not really like a proof or anything. But I just don't see a future where people are still excited to be drinking kombucha. It doesn't taste as good as a drink that you drink for flavor, and it's not as good for your gut as just taking a probiotic. Like a kombucha, I don't even know. Like I take a probiotic every morning. That bitch has 10 billion living bacteria in each dose. 10 billion. I'm taking gamma radiation straight to the duodenum every day. Can kombucha even come close to that? What does kombucha have? Like a million? Just give me the damn pill, bro. RCTs really don't support their benefit? Okay, what is an RCT? And while we wait, someone said, what about kimchi? There's a difference. Kimchi tastes delicious, in my opinion. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Okay, now it makes sense. Oh, randomized controlled trial. I think that if kombucha was not expensive relative to its competition, it would have a better chance to stick around. But because it's seen as kind of like a pseudo health product slash maybe like a bit of I hate to say it, but a little bit of a status symbol. Now it's kind of the chicken or the egg, but I bet if you took like a survey of the incomes of kombucha drinkers versus non-kombucha drinkers, you would find that my expectation is that kombucha drinkers probably on average make more money. The only thing we can conclude from that is that drinking kombucha makes you better at your job. So that kind of flies in the face of what I've been saying about it having no benefit, but I don't know, man. I like the taste. I like the taste too. I love fermented foods by and large. But I mean, like, if we're being honest, it's just two people talking here. Blind taste test, if I put you in an MRI machine and I give you a straw, and I give you a sip of Coke Zero, then I give you a sip of kombucha, which straw are you going back to? Which straw lights your brain up more? Let's just be honest with one another. Neither? Your brain's mad at you. You're telling it lies. Coke Zero for me. You speak for everybody as far as I'm concerned. And I hate to say, because I'm like not anti-kombucha, but I am kind of like, I don't know, I just don't see a world where people are paying like, you know, $8 a liter to drink it. When instead you could get a flat of Coke Zero and a bottle of medicinally meaningful probiotics for the same price. That's the current world? Yeah, but you don't know calculus. Your ass is still doing arithmetic. I'm looking at the derivative. I'm looking at the rate of change. And I think kombucha, I think we're living in peak kombucha. That's all I'm saying. And when you're in peak kombucha, you're like, it can only go up from here. 10 years later, you're like, why the hell were we ever drinking it in the first place? Your ass got a lifetime membership to pets.com. How's that working out for you? It's delicious. It tastes good, but it doesn't taste as good as a lot of other stuff that costs less money and might have the same medicinal benefit. Those are my thoughts on that subject. It tastes like vinegar? Yes, I know. It tastes good. We've established this. Nobody's arguing the taste of kombucha, okay? It has that delicious vinegar type taste. What the hell is even that? I don't get why people drink yerba mate. Listen, I'm not trying to put Diego Quiga on blast and the entire continent of South America. I want to start by saying I'm not going... It has a cultural significance to South America that I can't assail, okay? There's hundreds of millions of people that drink yerba mate every single day. I'm not trying to say they're wrong. Here's what I'll say is my experience with yerba mate. One of my roommates in college took a year off and did hoofing in South America. That is when you get free room and board on like a farm in exchange for your labor. It's a way to travel, you know, meet people, see the world, and, you know, get like a cultural education, right? So he came back to Canada after a year in South America, and you know, he did what everybody did. He brought the gourd with him, the metal gourd with the metal straw, and he would make us yerba mate all the time. And he would teach us about like the cultural importance of yerba mate. And I was like, that's really cool. I love the symbology of it. I love the routine. I love that it has like equipment for it. There's something cool about that. And then I would drink it and I would be like, okay, so it's like, it's tea. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a hater. But I was expecting to have like my socks blown off and, you know, the skin on my face blown back like the dude in the Dolby THX sound system magazine advertisements. Now, if you're like a tea lover, you're probably like, it's tea, bad chest. But as a tea, I don't know, tolerator, I was mostly just like, I get it, but it's not really for me. I'm a coffee guy. I come by it honestly. It's not a it's not me putting on airs. I just enjoy coffee, and the only time I really search for a cup of tea is if I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. Otherwise, I wouldn't even say I would take it or leave it. I would simply say I would leave it. I would rather have a glass of cold water. How do you drink your coffee? However they got it. Maybe I have to do the same thing with tea that I did with coffee. Coffee, I enjoyed. I mean, the flavor takes a little bit getting used to, but the first time coffee touched my lips, I knew that it would be for me. Tea, maybe I need to work my way up to it, because with coffee, you know, I drank it black forever. I still drink it black now, but every once in a while, if I'm feeling it, I'll put a little half and half or a little sugar in it. I won't buy it for myself, but if the domicile that I'm in happens to have it, then sure. It's a nice little treat. Maybe I got to do the same thing for tea, because I've always just had tea, the water and leaf sort of variety. I've never had it with cream and sugar. Maybe that would take it to the next level. But then I'd get like addicted to the sugar, so I don't want to do that. It's the hedonic treadmill in action. Earl Grey's kind of based. You know what's crazy? Earl Grey is like, if I have a favorite kind of tea, it probably is Earl Grey. I grew up thinking my whole life that it would taste like lukewarm dishwater, because it's called Earl Grey. It sounds like a rainy afternoon in Nottingham or something like that. That shit is floral and vibrant, and it tastes like someone told an angel what an orange is, and then the angel was like, and it's like the essence of citrus just goes straight into your brain. It's my fault for judging a book by its cover, but Earl Grey is like one of the least boring teas out there. Don't even get me started on English breakfast. And listen, it's a top 3 tea for sure. I don't know. I'm going to get a lot of people from the Midwest angry about this one. When your wife is Asian, sometimes when you go to an Asian restaurant, they bring her a cup of tea and they bring me a cup of water. And for a while, I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm in Yamato restaurant. I want to be authentic. I want to have a tea as well. And then after 8 years of getting the tea, and it always comes out fucking like it just came out of the control rod of the nuclear power plant, and you can like barely even touch it, and you're like, maybe you're having something that's a little spicy, and then you're like, oh, I need some liquid to cool it down, and you got this like steaming cauldron of making it worse. I'm happier with the water, honestly, bro. I understand the cultural significance of tea. I'm not besmirching it whatsoever. I'm just saying, having done both, I prefer the water, personally. Just get both? I don't want the tea. I just want the water. Don't waste your tea on me, okay? I'm not trying to put the system on trial. I'm not trying to say nobody should have tea. I'm just saying I'm appreciative of the water. At first I was like, I'm offended. Just because I'm white, I can't participate in your cultural tradition. Now every time I go, I'm like, they've seen people in here like me before. They know. I should have trusted them. They've been running this restaurant for, 28 years. As soon as they saw me walk in, they were like, one cup of tea, 1 cup of water, but listen, I got faith in this guy, 2 pairs of chopsticks. They had that shit locked on before I even walked in the room. Cup of Ace, cup of Goose, cup of Chris, so true. I take the water straight, never chase that. Top back like I'm bringing 88 back. Skirt. When did you learn to use chopsticks? I don't know. I feel like we as North Americans, in some parts of the continent, we baby ourselves. There are literally toddlers out there using chopsticks. And we've got like middle-aged people in Ohio that are like, could you bring me a fork, please? It's just a skill, man. It's like a nice little game if you've never learned how to use chopsticks. It gives you something to do while you wait for the gyoza to show up. And they are... Listen, people are not ready for this. Now maybe I am putting the system on trial. There are things that chopsticks are better for. I mean, like, you would not catch me at a Korean barbecue restaurant grabbing meat off of the grill with my damn fork. That shit would, I mean, that's a cause for alarm. Let's put it that way. I do want to say, for me personally, rice is a spoon. And I think that it might vary depending on the country. In Korea, rice is a spoon dish as well. Chopsticks kind of insane as cooking utensils. Yes, I think as a cooking utensil, no disrespect. I think of them as an inferior tong, but sometimes. Dude, yeah, you reps with chopsticks for salad goes crazy. I know it might sound like something you've never heard of before, but it... Is this good? Why not? Unfortunately, the salad that you typically get at an Asian restaurant is not that inspiring, but that's life. I mean, okay, my wife, she's got the right idea. When she makes like Korean food or Japanese food and then she serves it alongside with a salad, she does it simple. Good salad dressing plus spring mix, that's all you need. Sometimes, I mean, I'll give you an example. We went to a Korean restaurant on Sunday. the salad that came with my fried rice is a Korean Chinese restaurant, okay? Just I don't want to out it. I don't want to give it too much information, put them on blast because we go there all the time. The salad was shredded cabbage with Russian dressing on top of it. And I hate it. I hate to say it. I didn't even touch it. I'm like, I don't want, I love shredded cabbage. Why'd you have to ruin it by putting a mixture of ketchup and mayonnaise on top of it? If I gotta, next time I go, I gotta say maybe like dressing on the side, just a little bit of sesame oil on top of the cabbage and some salt, and you're good to go. We don't need to start putting McDonald's special sauce on top of the salads or something. It's too much. A little bit of poop to pull it all together. I saw someone say the salad at Saku is good. Listen, I agree with you. You're not going to tell me anything about Saku that I don't already know. They are probably the best tonkatsu restaurant in Vancouver. They do the Japanese style salad, which is literally just like shredded cabbage with a little bit of sauce on it, but the sauce is like a sesame type sauce instead of a McDonald's hamburger sauce. I love a shredded cabbage. I mean, this is not for health-based purposes. I'm just being honest. I would rather, and I would be glad to, just eat a side of like raw shredded cabbage than put like some Kraft Russian dressing on top of it. The cabbage is already more than edible. Nature made it naturally like a little bit sweet. Sweet is a strong word. Listen, I've blown out my damn dopamine receptors with 2 Coke Zeros a day, and I can still taste the natural sweetness of cabbage. So why is it that all the drink water, exclusively Andes, are telling me that cabbage tastes like nothing? Nature didn't do that, man did that. Extremely common human species dub. Celery's the bad one? What do you... You guys don't deserve vegetables. Honestly, I know I've been telling you to eat your vegetables. If you can't appreciate a raw cabbage or a raw celery, I want to start a reframing exercise, okay? That's kind of crazy. We no longer say vegetable doesn't taste good. Instead, we say, I don't like it. I don't like the way it tastes. Because you know, saying something like that tastes yucky is actually how my 3-year-old child responds to foods that are delicious. Kate made Japanese curry last night. You know what my daughter said? She said, I don't like this. Before she even ate it, she said, I don't like this. Then she ate a piece of the meat and said, it lost its sweetness. I said, what are you talking about? It's like the way that someone in like the Middle Ages would describe meat after it like went rotten or something. It's like it lost its essence. Like, what are you, lady, what are you talking about? Anyway, it was delicious for the record, and she's wrong. I would prefer if you said, I don't like the taste. Celery does not taste bad. I like how celery cooks. Or how it tastes, I should say. If celery tastes bad, why is my ass eating it then? And enjoying it with a smile on my face? Uncooked celery sucks? I don't like the way uncooked celery tastes. We're going to work on it together. I don't know, you can say whatever you want. I'm just kind of spinning my wheels. Hey, Anel, you ever been to Kobe Restaurant in Vancouver? No, you will not catch my ass on Alberni Street. That is where you go with your dad's Lamborghini to purchase a Salvatore Ferragno leather bag to take to your first year health sciences class at the University of British Columbia. You will not catch me at Alberni Street. The closest you will find me is a couple of blocks away at the Scotiabank Cineplex Theater, which is Burrard and I'm going to say Smythe. That being said, I have heard that it's pretty good. It's like it's a teppanyaki / Japanese steakhouse kind of joint, right? You got to hit up Giardino restaurant. Is that isn't that bacteria? Giardino? That's Giardia. De Laurentiis? It's the pizza place. I haven't spent a whole lot of time downtown in the last post-COVID years. Carrots or celery with buffalo wings? All right, now you're going to get me in trouble because I'm a consensus knower. You saw me win the Rotten Tomatoes game. I know what people think. My favorite part of the buffalo wing accoutrement is the celery, but I can understand the carrots. I'm not anti-carrot either. They love to pit two bad bitches against each other. Blue cheese or ranch? I mean, you're going to get me in trouble here. People are going to realize I'm not a man of the people. I'm a ranch Andy. You would think because of my air of faux sophistication, I wouldn't be caught dead eating ranch. Wrong. I love delicious things. And ranch is paramount amongst them. I'm not anti-blue cheese. Again, we don't have to pit two bad bitches against each other. Except in X versus Sever. You ever see that one? Lucy Liu, Antonio Banderas. They made a Game Boy Advance game about it. What about kombucha, though? I didn't pit kombucha against Coke Zero. I just said Coke Zero is better, for one. And I think that we're at peak kombucha. And you know how I know we're at peak kombucha? Is because for all the kombucha defenders that are in chat right now, how many of y'all are drinking it right now? Oh, once a month when I'm at Whole Foods, sometimes I go to the drink fridge and I get one, but it's too expensive for me to drink all the time. Then you agree with me! That's exactly what I'm saying. The shit is just, isn't it like amoeba poop in water? Why is it like $6 a liter? It should be like 2% more expensive than water. Hey, Platypus 2600, thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you, thank you. Charge attack that shoots. You should take C-section. They fixed it. Okay. I'm hearing they fixed it. Fuck. Anyway, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, kombucha. And all people are like, you can just make it yourself. But like, I'm just gonna be real with the kombucha stands out there. It's good, but it's not that good. I'm not dedicating a permanent spot in my fridge to like that amoeba. Just that paramecium, honestly, is gonna start having to pay rent. I'm not gonna give up my fridge space for kombucha. It's just not gonna happen. I know I can make everything myself. Otherwise, how would some motherfuckers have made it in the first place? You know? We all start with the same mats, bro. We don't all start with the same mats. We all start with similar. I'm not saying we all start with the same number of stacks of cobblestone. I'm just saying whenever people are like, you can make kimchi at home, I'm like, yes, I'm familiar with the fact that both me and, BBGO can interface with matter that exists on planet Earth. It's not like they have a proprietary formula to get the fucking chopped gochu in there. It's like asking somebody else to, like, build you a diamond sword in Minecraft. It's like, my brother in Christ, you made the shaft. Now, your own Coke Zero, no, because that's a trade secret, okay? My granny makes Korean kimchi. Or my granny makes killer kimchi. Can I just say something? I'm not suggesting that making your own kimchi is not worth the time. All I'm going to say is my wife's parents are Korean as fuck, and even they don't make their own kimchi. Nor, to the best of my knowledge, have they ever expressed a desire to do so. They go to the H-Mart, they purchase the brand of kimchi that they enjoy the most, they put it in their kimchi fridge, and they get on with their lives, bro. They're not putting a tarp down in their living room and pouring out all the jars of cabbage and getting down there with the pink gloves and mixing it up and then stuffing it back into the jar and turning that shit into Dexter's Kill Room for something that you could reasonably get for like $9.99 a jar at the grocery store. You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this. You know what I'm talking about? Why is it that people will, like, consume a food once from a recipe or like a store-bought version, and they'll be like, that's good, but I bet I can make a better version at home. Bro, they've been perfecting this recipe at the factory in Laramie, Wyoming for like literally 3 generations. You think your ass is going to break the mold on kimchi with some shit that you found from a SEO-optimized website on a Google search? Why would I buy my own store-bought kimchi for $9.99 when I could pay $24.99 for the ingredients and make an inferior version myself from someone whose website only exists to siphon ad revenue off the internet? I think it's just, I admire it in a sense because you got a lot of confidence in yourself. I, on the other hand, I feel like we stand on the shoulders of giants. Okay, /marker. Call that repentance too.